Bonjour, do you know how to say he is smaller than me in French? Well, today we're going to practice our comparatives in French, of course. Before I start, if you want the essential Alexa guide to this lesson and access to my weekly live lessons on YouTube, then click on the join button below. Okay, you may wonder what comparatives are. Well, comparatives, it's when you want to compare two things together, or an adjective or an adverb, for example, because we are going to concentrate on this today. If you wanted to say, well, she is prettier than me, for example, you're comparing she, her, with you as her being pretty. And so what we've done in English, we have added the ER to pretty. But how do we do it in French? So if you look at my screen here, in French, when making a comparison on an adjective or an adverb, the expressions are as follow. Now, you use plus and then que, okay? But I know that you read plus, we say plus, and then the adjective. So, for example, plus, as you can see here, plus, okay, and then que. I read it as plus as because when you read the word plus on its own, it's plus with an S. However, when you have it as a comparative, then the S disappears, okay? So, you want to have a sentence and you want to say, she is prettier than me. Okay. Now, what you're going to use here is known as a comparative of superiority. Okay. Because we're using more than. And I know that in English you say prettier. Okay. And you add an ER. And this is the indicator of the comparative, as in superiority. She is prettier. She's more pretty than me. Okay. In French, what you need to do is have plus, as in more, the adjective in the middle, pretty, and then add que. So, elle est, she is, quite simply. And then you want the plus, because where you're talking about a superiority, okay, plus, jolie, the adjective, with an E, because we're referring it to a she, okay, elle est plus jolie, and then que, and then you win moi. Okay, you want moi. Okay, so here what we've done, we have used the comparative of supériorité. Okay, plus adjective que, and then moi. Okay. Now remember that in English, though you have the ER at the end of the adjectives, in French we don't. You have to break it up into plus, then the adjective, then que, always. Okay. The only time in English you would use more and then than, okay, when the adjective you're using has more than 3 syllables, so more comfortable than. You wouldn't say comfortabler, would you? So in French, you've got to remember that actually we use more and then the adjective or the adverb, or we will actually see that in another lesson. Today we are concentrating on adjective and adverbs, okay? So more, that, plus, okay? So plus, que, okay? Now, if you wanted to say less than, she's less pretty than me, okay? For example, it's not a sentence you would necessarily say, but as an example here, to give you a context, we would use the comparative of infériorité, okay? Moins and then que, okay? So have a look at the same sentence above. This time we want to say she's less pretty than me. You would say elle est, so go on, yes, well done, moins, and then jolie, très bien, and then que, très bien, and moi, okay? So, elle est moins jolie que moi. So, we're using the inferiority comparatives here, okay? That indicates inferiority. So, moins, which means less, okay? Now, if you wanted to use the comparatives of equality, in that case, we wanted to say she is as pretty as me, okay? Then you use aussi, then the adjective que, as, okay? So, elle est aussi jolie que moi, okay? So here we're using the equality comparatives, okay? So this is what you have to remember. 3 comparatives: supériorité, infériorité, equality. And how do we do that? Plus que for supériorité, moins que for infériorité, aussi que for equality. Okay, now very quickly, how would you say Tom is smaller than me? Tom is smaller than me. Now, Tom is Tom, so il, okay? So Tom, il est. And of course, you've got to break this smaller into 3 bits here. More, small than, okay? Because we do not have ER at the end of an adjective to indicate superiority or comparatives, okay? So what we do, tu es, and we want smaller, okay? Plus, Tom est plus petit que moi, okay? So we've breked. You can't say that. Okay, so we broke it up into little pieces here, okay? So this indicates the superiority, okay? When you use plus que, superiority. Now, if you wanted to use an adverb in a sentence using less than, we know that less than is moins que, okay? Moins que, okay? And we want to say rapidly. And rapidly is an adverb, okay? I have extensively explained how to form adverbs in the past. There is even a Practice Your French adverb lesson as well. So please, please have a look at how to form adverb. So he walks. Il marche. And we want to say he walks less rapidly than him. Okay, il marche moins and rapidement. I didn't leave myself enough space. Well done, Alexa. Moins rapidement, okay, il marche moins rapidement, and then que lui, okay? Il marche moins rapidement que lui. What am I doing? Okay, so here we've got a comparative of infériorité, okay? So we can use it with an adjective, we can use it with an adverb as well. So what I would like to do now is give you a few examples, okay? Now, of course, you have exceptions, okay? How to say better, okay? For example, how to say worse, okay? These are exceptions to these comparatives, and we don't necessarily use them in the same context, as in, you know, you wouldn't say gooder, but you would say better in English. Well, the same applies in French. But that is on your Alexa guide. So go and get the Alexa guide if you want to know more about the exceptions. Let's have a look at these little examples now. How would you say Tom court and then supériorité vite Marc? So basically, if I indicate superiority, I would like you to use the comparatives of superiority. Now we want to say Tom runs faster than Marc, okay? Because vite means quick, okay? And that is an adverb, okay? How would you say Tom runs faster than Marc? Now, we've just learned that in terms of superiority, we need to use plus and ... and que, okay? So this one is quite easy. Tom court, as in he runs, plus vite que Marc, quite simply, okay? So here we go. Tom court plus vite que Marc. Tom runs faster than Marc, okay? And here we've compared, okay, Tom to Marc, as in one running faster than the other. And remember, faster, you cannot translate faster as faster with ER at the end. So it's more fast than, okay? Always. You need to break this up. Break it up. Right. Ce jardin est, this garden is, and the adjective I want you to use is grand, but I want you to use in equality. So comparing is as equal. This garden is as big as a park. Okay, so wow, this is so big that it's as big as a park. Okay, so remember what we use for equality? when you want to compare two things but put them equal to each other, it is aussi. And by the way, aussi on its own means as well, okay? Aussi que, okay? So, ce jardin est aussi, here we go, ce jardin est aussi grand que un parc. Now, because we have un beginning with a vowel, what we need to do here, we need to drop the E and put an apostrophe so it sounds better. Ce jardin est aussi grand qu'un parc. This garden is as big as a park. Okay, when you want to compare it, but in terms of equality. Okay, do you see what's happening here? Okay, now what happens in the next example? Ce village est, so this village is, okay, we want to use beau, beautiful, okay, but we want to use it as inferiority. So we want to say that it's less beautiful than, if that makes sense, okay? And this means the other. Okay, so this village is less pretty than the other, okay? What was the indicators for inferiority? That's right, it is moins, okay? And then que, okay? So, ce village est moins beau que l'autre. Quite simply, this village is less pretty or less beautiful than the other. Okay, that's it. Don't forget that if you want more examples and access the Alexa guide to this lesson, well, join my community. Click on the join button. Au revoir, leave a comment, subscribe. À bientôt. Bisous, bisous. Salut.